You've paid for an app you completely forgot you signed up for, probably more than one. And it's not because you're careless. It's because your brain was rigged to keep it the second you clicked Start Free Trial. Here's what's actually happening. The moment you sign up, your brain quietly reclassifies that subscription. It's not something you're testing anymore. It's yours. Psychologists call this the endowment effect, and it was mapped out by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, the researchers who basically built modern behavioral economics. Their experiments found people value something more the instant they believe they own it, even if they got it for free, even if they haven't used it once. Think about borrowing a hoodie from a friend for one weekend. By day 3, it feels like it already lives in your closet. Giving it back suddenly feels like losing something, not just returning a favor. That's your brain with every free trial. The subscription isn't a trial anymore, it's a possession. And your brain fights harder to keep possessions than it ever worked to get them. Companies know exactly how this works. A 2022 report from the Federal Trade Commission investigated subscription services and found many were built on purpose to make signing up effortless and canceling a maze. Extra clicks, hidden buttons, confirmation screens designed to make you give up halfway through. That's not bad design. That's the endowment effect, weaponized on purpose. Here's the deeper layer. Canceling doesn't just feel like a loss. It also forces you to make an active decision. And your brain despises active decisions when a passive default is sitting right there, doing nothing. This is called status quo bias. Doing nothing feels safe. Clicking cancel feels like a tiny confrontation, even when literally nobody's watching. So your brain grabs the option that costs 0 effort, staying subscribed, and quietly tells itself it'll deal with it later. There's a reason this trick barely gets noticed. Losses just hit differently than gains. Kahneman and Tversky's broader research on loss aversion found that losing something feels roughly twice as painful as gaining the same thing feels good. Getting a free month of a streaming service barely registers, but the idea of losing access to something you already think of as yours, even a service you haven't opened in weeks, suddenly feels like a real cost. That imbalance is doing all the heavy lifting here, quietly, in the background, every single time a trial period ends. So what does this actually mean for you? Every free trial you start is quietly rewriting how your brain treats money you haven't even spent yet. The second that trial begins, you stop evaluating the product. You start avoiding the discomfort of losing something you technically never owned. The trial period was never really about testing the app. It's a psychological setup, and it works just as well on smart people as anyone else. You can't switch off the endowment effect. It's wired in, but you can outsmart it before it outsmarts your wallet. First, set a calendar reminder for the exact day the trial ends, not sometime next week. Second, before you even start the trial, write down the real price you'll get charged if you forget. Seeing the number makes it real before your brain gets the chance to claim ownership. Third, if a service makes canceling weirdly complicated, treat that as information. That difficulty isn't a glitch. It's the design working exactly as planned. Your bank account isn't leaking money because you're forgetful. It's leaking money because your brain was never built to let go of things easily, even things it only borrowed for free. Companies figured that out long before you did. Now you know it too. Follow for more facts your brain didn't ask for.